I had one of the most exhilarating conversations with a community attender recently. Now this was a guy, he's done pretty well in business, but it's been the last few years he found his way back to God. He shows up every week and he says, every week I find myself getting emotional. And I'm really not an emotional guy. He loves the community. He's in a small group doing life together. He's found out he loves being generous. He's giving away more and more of what God's given him. And he's super passionate about the mission. In fact, so passionate, he's strategized about how he can spend more and more time on the mission and less time at work. Now, throughout our conversation, he kept using this phrase over and over again. He kept saying, I'm all in. Dave, I'm all in. He talked about his relationship with Jesus, and he said, I'm all in. We talked about the mission and wanting to spend more and more time on it. He just said, I just want to be all in. We talked about generosity and some of the initiatives we have coming up. He said, I'm all in. Finally, I got to the point where I had to stop him. And I said, did you know our theme for this next ministry year is all in? And he was like, I had no idea. But that's just how I feel. I'm all in. Well, if there was one phrase that I would like to describe this next ministry year, it's this phrase, all in. And here's why. I think God's looking for people who are all in. All in. Look what 2 Chronicles 16:9 says. It says, the eyes of the Lord search the whole earth in order to strengthen those whose hearts are fully committed to Him. Now this scripture tells us something amazing about God, that He's always looking for people to strengthen. Another translation says, mightily support. And the people He chooses to strengthen are the ones who are completely committed to Him. He's looking for people like that. He's looking for people who are all in. Now, as we look ahead to this next ministry year, it is going to be a year of exceptional opportunity. We're going to reach record numbers of people. We'll bring restoration in unprecedented ways. We're going to reproduce the mission exponentially, both locally and globally. We'll help more people than ever find their way back to God. But it's going to take all of us, and it's going to take all of us being all in. First, we have to be all in with Jesus. I'll tell you what, if I was given one wish, just one wish for community, I would wish that every person would hear from God every day. If every person heard from God every day and then lived it out, we would be all in with Jesus. And for us to do anything significant with our lives, being all in with Jesus is foundational. Secondly, we need to be all in on mission. Last year, almost 3/4 of our small groups had a written mission statement and then were commissioned at a weekend celebration service. This year, we want to go from 75% to 100%. It's going to take you and your group working, praying, deciding what's our mission. And it'll be worth it because we want to see every group on mission. Lastly, we must be all in with our generosity. The Bible teaches your treasure is where your heart is. And for many, this is the biggest test in our spiritual journey. Will you pass it? We need to be all in with our generosity. I want you to know, I am all in. And here's what I'm asking everyone in the community. Will you join me and be all in?
It was 10 years ago that God did this amazing thing in the village of Montgomery when He moved in the hearts of a couple of families who had watched their church dwindle down to just a handful of people. And they felt called by God to come and generously donate their building, all their land, to Community Christian Church so that we might come and launch one of our campuses right in the heart of Montgomery. And so we did. We responded to that opportunity from God, and since then we've been able to see God do amazing things over the last 10 years. We've been able to launch 5 different campuses or churches in everywhere from Aurora to Yorkville to Boston. We've seen literally hundreds of adults, teenagers, kids from all over Montgomery, Oswego, and Aurora find their way back to God. We've been able to make this huge visible impact in our local schools, in our communities, show them that we're here to be the church, to make our cities better. And you know, as I look ahead to the next 10 years, I think we're on the verge of some huge God-sized kind of things. I really believe we're going to be a place that does even more reaching and restoring and reproducing. I believe we're going to continue to reach Montgomery and Oswego and Aurora as we grow by over 200 more people. That's 200 of your friends and co-workers and neighbors. I believe we're going to continue to grow in how we restore, that we're helping transform Montgomery and Oswego and Aurora, helping them become more like places that God dreamed for them to be. And I believe we'll continue to get opportunities to reproduce, to help launch more locations, both close to us and all around the country. But you know what? Here's what it's going to take. It's going to take us coming together as Community Montgomery to be all in. I believe we're going to have to be all in with Jesus, that we're becoming a people who hear from God every day and obey. We're going to be a place that's all in with mission, that every one of us learns to see ourselves as missionaries who are sent to where we live, where we work, where we play, where we hang out. And lastly, I believe we're going to have to be all in with generosity, that this will be about everyone sacrificing financially together. More specifically, here's what we're going after. I'm really excited that we're going to get to do our first major renovation at the campus. First one we've been able to do since we launched. And because of this, we're going to get to expand our lobby, which is going to create this incredible first impression for people, create this beautiful kind of connecting space. And as a part of this project, we get to redo our bathrooms, expand our kitchen, impact some of our Kid City and Stucco space. Just continue to create this beautiful environment where people can come together and experience community and find their way back to God, both at our weekend celebration services and as our building continues to be a community center that people come in and use.
By doing this lobby expansion, people have time to slow down, take a moment, and actually have a conversation with each other without people bumping into each other. So that's really where our heart was, is to be able to have that time. So if new people came into the church, they're not just scurried here or there. They have time to meet people. Maybe we have time to meet them or somebody else, that they will feel the warmth that we felt when we first started.
So to make this happen, we're challenging Montgomery campus to give $20,000 above and beyond their regular giving. And the other part of our challenge is going to be asking for at least 20 new tithing families. That's 20 new people or families that come to a place where they understand that part of what it means to be all in with Jesus and all in with mission is to commit to giving regularly 10% or more of their income.
My life has been, especially these past 4 years, has been transformed by making that commitment to be generous and kind of step out of that zone and watch God work in ways that I would have never seen before. This is the one area where the Bible talks about testing God, and it's a little scary at first, but from my experience and going above and beyond what's comfortable for me or what even makes sense in my budget, you know, I challenge anybody to take that step and that leap of faith and watch God work, because it's really incredible.
You know what my daily prayer is? I wake up every day and I pray to God and I ask Him for this. I say, God, please build your kind of church here in Montgomery. Please let Community Montgomery become the kind of church that you want it to be. Honestly, I think we're close if we will be all in as a campus. I mean, imagine with me this. Imagine what God can do with a community of people coming together and committing together to be all in with Jesus, all in with mission, all in with generosity. So how about you? Are you ready to be all in? You know, we need you. We're praying for you. Join us. Join us. Community Montgomery is all in.